42 seconds of logos. And the 42 seconds of logos are followed by 42 seconds of letters position. Posts position? Correspond position? In other words, reading.
Still today on the 19th anniversary of the war that tore this great nation apart.
Setting up your important backstory via slightly garbled radio news position that your audience could easily miss.
We give thanks for the state and the opportunity it provides, for the order it has instituted for the good of society. May it bring us all back to prosperity.
Counting on a state that has all but eliminated opportunity and whose idea of order is walking 50 people to death once a year to bring anyone or anything back to prosperity. Wait, is it possible the news isn't telling the truth?
We pray for the poor, the hungry, the unemployed, and those without shelter.
Thoughts and prayers.
I still don't understand. I think you could probably still change your mind. I don't think it's...
The back out date was yesterday.
I'm sure this is a conversation already had, and Mrs. Garrity is just freaking out because of what her son is about to do, but knowing that the back out date was the previous day adds nothing to anything that happens moving forward. So pointless comment to upset your mother is pointless.
They would let you. I know it. The major, he would...
The major would what? You know what the major would say.
We actually don't, because the rules about what happens before and after the long walk aren't explored much at all, and sprinkling more of that info in might have been more interesting than just watching kids walk for almost 2 hours.
This is my decision, okay? Not yours.
Kids, specifically kids who are fucking stupid enough to volunteer for the long goddamn walk.
Your father was here.
If your father was here, cliche.
You brought the baseball?
One would think the strange mention of the baseball foreshadows its importance later on in the movie. I assure you, it does not, unless you count playing catch with soon-to-be-dead newfound friends as some sort of importance. Oh wait, maybe someone would find that important. No, it's a cinematic ploy. Look, movie, I don't mind giving you my used tissues, but god damn it, the movie has to earn it.
I made you these oatmeal chocolate chip, your favorite.
Perhaps the most dystopian thing in this dystopian world is that oatmeal chocolate chip could be anybody's favorite cookie. Also, sticking the freshly baked oatmeal chocolate chip cookies in your pants pocket where they can get crushed and or ruined instead of the open backpack right in front of you.
No body fat on that guy. Jesus, it's gonna be tough to beat.
If this were a sprint, sure, but fat is what the body uses for fuel when it's starving. So in this 300+ mile walk with very little food, the people with the least body fat should, in theory, be among the first ones to get their ticket. At least that's what I'm going to keep telling myself, so I can unsheepishly say no every time my wife asks if I want to go on a walk.
Jesus, Sevens, you some kind of fitness nut?
Well, I don't think he wants to talk.
Can you blame him? Considering that everyone knows that all but one of them will be dead in a few days, the amount of idle conversation throughout this movie is borderline astounding. Also, giving someone shit because they're in good shape.
Just want to walk and maybe make some friends.
Hoping to make friends on the long walk where either said friends or you will be dead before it's over.
Okay, Curly. How old are you?
18? Yeah, that kid liked to qualify.
And somehow he got away with it, in spite of the fact that they checked the IDs of every walker on the way in.
I did my research on a major. He says you want to win this thing, you gotta be raring to rip.
It's rhetorical nonsense.
Boys, I am raring to rip.
Boys, I am raring to rip.
That's impressionist, and probably racist.
Sit down, boys.
Discount Mark Hamill, holy sh**.
Before we get too deep in this video, I need to talk to you about your screen time. Yes, you listener, I can see you through the video. And if you're like me, you have that thing on you at all times. And what's it doing for you? Probably not making you money, but that is about to change thanks to our friends at Free Cash. If you haven't heard, there's an easy gamified way to make a bit of extra money using Free Cash. Free Cash allows you to play and test new games, apps, and other services and get paid to do it. How cool is that? Most folks are already on their phone for a few hours a day, so why not get paid? And with over 5,000 different apps to test, there's something for everyone. It's super simple. Sign up and enable app tracking. Pick a game to play, get paid. You know me, I love a good game and I love Disney, so I've been playing Disney Solitaire and it's so fun. Plus, I've already made $10 from just a couple of rounds. Easy peasy, and it's legit. They have a 4.7 out of 5 Trustpilot score. Honestly, it's so easy and fun, I don't see why you wouldn't give it a shot. Plus, when you're ready to cash out, they have the options to send it to your PayPal, your bank, or an Amazon or Visa gift card. So what are you waiting for? Sign up using my link or my QR code and you'll get a $10 bonus after completing your first offer. I really enjoy this, and it's the most fun way to earn a bit of extra cash each day. Let me know in the comments what you're playing once you sign up on freecash.com.
And number 13, it's conserve energy whenever possible.
Shut up, Austin. I read the rule book.
In a non-stop walk where the only way to survive is to outlast everyone else, you'd think that conserve energy might be ranked a little higher on the hint list, like maybe number 2 after wear comfortable shoes.
Ewing, James. Number 1, Smith, Patrick. Number 4.
As if the long walk wasn't twisted enough, this list of names and numbers seems to be organized neither alphabetically nor numerically. What kind of monsters run this society? Also, this scene roll calls on for all the some time.
Stebbins, Billy, number 38. Good luck, son.
This subtle little break in the Major's character is eventually explained when we find out Stebbins is actually his son. But that occurs so late in the film you'll have forgotten all about this by the time it happens. Also, nepotism.
Fellas, line up by 5, in no particular order.
Lining up in 5s is a particular order. It's the goddamn particular order of 5!
Boys, it takes heavy sack to sign up for this contest. And you've all got it.
Signing up to walk hundreds of miles with a heavy sack. Also saying sack instead of balls, testicles, or cojones. Really, just saying sack in general.
Our country has been in a period of financial struggle since the war.
Maybe part of the reason for the financial struggle is giving away a huge amount of money to the winner of an annual death march instead of paying people to do actual work.
The long walk is the answer.
Roll credits. Also, I don't see how walking 49 boys to their death every year serves as any kind of incentive to work harder, especially for families who have no male children, since there's no way the long walk could possibly benefit them in any way. Wait, is the fascist general not telling the truth?
When this is broadcast for all the states, your inspiration will continue to elevate our gross national product.
The idea that this would work in real life, and me realizing for too large of a portion of this country it fucking would.
I'm not going to go through the whole rule book. Walk until there's only one of you left. Maintain a speed of 3 miles per hour.
Saying you're not going through the whole rule book and then proceeding to go through most of the rule book.
The goal is to last the longest. There's one winner and no finish line.
Well, there is a finish line. It's just that until the next to last person gets their ticket, no one knows exactly where it is.
Luck to all, and remember, anyone can win.
Finishing your inspirational speech after the ones you were inspiring have already walked away. The majority of this movie is walking. Excitement? So, here are 25 sins to cover all of the excitement we will be experiencing on this walking journey.
Hey, Pete, pretty f***ing desolate.
This should not be surprising to Ray, since this is his home state.
Major, you don't allow spectators until the final stretch.
Except, of course, the Major said there's no finish line, so he couldn't possibly know where the final stretch will be. So I guess the spectators are just screwed.
Hey, smile, boys. You're on candid camera.
It's good to know that in a world decimated by war, keeping everyone's hopes alive requires the country to perform activities like the long walk, and that candid camera was still a thing. Alan Funt filming people without their consent apparently never goes out of style. Knowing that the movie skipped over the boys walking 4 miles, but it feels like we've seen them walk at least 10 already. Also, when they get to mile 22, I would give all the sins back if Mark Wahlberg showed up to explain the plot of that f***ing movie he was in, and to tell everyone to say hi to the mother for him. And then he would end it with, but I guess only one of you will actually get to speak to your mother again, because he's Mark f***ing Wahlberg.
Big boy's gonna have no problem walking an hour without getting another warning. And then he'll have this one taken off to have a clean slate. That's a good strategy.
Is it though? Taking a warning early in the walk just because you know you can walk it off seems kind of pointless. Zero chance any of these fuckers turned around and are still walking 3 miles an hour as they stare and shout at Gary to get moving. So all of them should be given a warning, but they are not. And now I must hate this movie.
Number 5, third warning.
According to the Major,
3 warnings, you get your ticket.
Luckily for Gary, the actual rule is that you get your ticket if you're not up to speed within the 10-second grace period after the 3rd warning. Considering the stakes, the rules really should be written more clearly.
Hell, you need a rest for anyway, but just f***ing start it.
Hank would be excellent at Get Your Ass Moving Sins.
Look, I'm a religious fella. I ain't ashamed to admit it. I'm here for the money.
Televangelists.
Growing up there pouring Baton Rouge, it ain't no picnic. It's one big sweaty hog fest.
To be fair, that sounds like just about every actual picnic I've ever been to.
When the system backs people into a corner, points to an escape hatch and says, that's the only way out. Of course we're all gonna try to go through.
This is using some twisted-ass lottery logic to explain why the long walk makes any f***ing sense to anyone. Sure, you play the lottery knowing that you probably won't win, but at least there's a chance. The big difference is that playing the lottery doesn't usually end in walking on a bloody foot, shit your pants, and then death.
It's not smart to talk bad about the long walk. That's dissent, and it's punishable
Arrest me.
You gonna arrest him? Didn't think so.
But why not? We know this is being televised, so if Stebbins is right, then the last people the government will want to talk smack about the long walk is the people participating in it on live TV.
They say we have a choice to sign up for the lottery, but do any of you know anyone ever who hasn't? Exactly.
Jumping to conclusions based on limited data, aka Twitter.
The right person can do a hell of a lot of good with the right amount of money.
Citation needed, please.
Smoke?
No, I'm okay.
Yeah, I don't smoke neither.
Figured I'd learn.
Deciding to increase the challenge of a literal walk to the death by taking up smoking 5 miles in.
Hey, ain't nothing in the Bible about no tobacco now.
This is true, but there is the whole treat your bodies as a living sacrifice, temple of the Holy Spirit bit. And if tobacco was a thing in that region of the world during that time period, I'm pretty sure smoking it would not be something considered to keep your body like the temple of the Holy Spirit.
Book about the long walk from the insider's point of view? Make me rich.
Probably not right away, but after you knock out a half dozen other novels and a bunch of short stories, you can publish it under a pseudonym and it'll sell like crazy. Also, the only way this book gets out is if you survive the walk, which means you can just wish to be rich anyway, dumbass.
Warning, number 7.
All right, Curly.
Warning.
Okay. Keep it slow.
It's truly heartwarming that almost everyone on the walk quickly moves to help the other walkers, and it would be hard to get any enjoyment whatsoever out of this movie if they didn't. But if they're all desperate enough to sign up for a death march that only one of them can survive, it makes very little sense that anybody would do anything that would keep another walker from getting his ticket. Movie takes 21 minutes and 54 seconds to officially the long walk.
There will be many more, but none quite as glory-filled as the very first and the very last.
The very last is the person who comes in second, which I guess could be considered glorious, but the first? I've only known the Major for about 15 minutes, and he doesn't strike me as someone who'd find it glorious that one of these kids only had the sack to make it 7 miles.
I gotta take a leak.
Watch out, boys. Incoming.
You gotta admire Pete's ability to pee while walking backward at 3 miles per hour. But you gotta wonder how many people have been eliminated from the walk because they couldn't urinate while walking, and that's not something I really want to think about. You, Francis Lawrence, Stephen King, and J.T. Mulder.
This one right. It's like the Major said. Ain't no finish line. That's the biggest mile in this race.
It's up there, but watching as many as 49 other people being executed while you're forced to continue walking is probably my personal number one mind.
I think you got a secret admirer over there.
Come on, man. She must be like 14.
Least secret admirer ever.
Let's be musketeers.
How the f are we gonna be musketeers? There's 4 of us.
Officially, there were 4 musketeers. Everyone always forgets about D'Artagnan. Poor f***ing D'Artagnan.
Why won't they just fucking end it?
Why are you still watching this kid about to get shot?
Hey, y'all should be f***ing smiling. The odds just went up for us, yeah?
Barkovich is a dick, but he's not wrong. Every person who's eliminated potentially makes the walk shorter. Considering what's on the line, the lack of competitiveness between these guys is kind of mind-boggling.
Probably a nice place to live.
You should know, since, as has been said many times, you live here.
I never been so horny in my life as I am right this minute. Ain't that strange?
It is.
Bomb John
trying to fly.
Silver lives on f***ing Treasure Island.
It's just a fucking nerdy thing to say, you know?
What, I'm nerd because I read f***ing books?
I guess.
Just not the 3 musketeers, apparently.
Think that ass has walked off his warnings yet?
I mean, he must have. In what, 3 hours maybe?
Closer to 7. Barkovich stopped to get the rock out of his shoe on the bridge just past mile 5, and they just hit the 25-mile mark. If it had only been 3 hours and an average walking speed of 3 miles per hour, they'd only be around mile 14.
This is raw ground venison. It's good energy.
Oh, God.
You off your Charlie Musketeer? You won't puke all over the place.
Hey, in France, they call it Saint-Tard sauce.
Yeah, but in France, it's served fresh, not from a box that's been marinating in their pocket during a 25-mile hike.
But I do know that they eat the f***ing legs of frogs over there. That is f***ing disgusting.
That's frog-leggist.
Let's shave 0.3 off.
Yeah, that's good. I really feel the f***ing difference.
Let's not stay here for too long. Yeah.
Why not? Since there's only one way to win, and it has nothing to do with who gets somewhere first, there's no reason to walk any faster than the required 3 miles per hour.
Rank. Is this short for, like Franklin Delano Roosevelt or something?
Yeah, it's rank.
This rank behavior goes on for all to some time.
I know you got that gas-sucking yourself, Scarface.
I am now way too curious about what Gary thinks are made of to where they would give Peter a gash on his face like that. So they just leave the people who get their ticket in the middle of the road? If somebody doesn't pick this body up soon, it's going to be pretty rank.
Hey, have y'all had to poop yet?
I'm rationing, trying to avoid it.
Smart. Listen, something real bad happening up ahead.
And since Peter Pooper here came up from behind them, I can only assume he knows this because his sphincter sense was tingling.
Word's been coming down the line. This guy Ronald, 45, he's got the it's real bad.
I thought showing vomiting on screen was bad, but this is so much worse.
Where else in the world would you have an opportunity like this? Nowhere is the answer.
Saying that nobody else in the world has the opportunity to be shot in the head in the middle of the road while having uncontrollable diarrhea like it's a bad thing.
You've been dozing for hours, yep.
The long sleepwalk.
I was dreaming about my mom. Yeah. And she used to sing me this lullaby that was so sweet, you know.
My favorite lullaby my mother always sang to me was called Skip.
I know you're just like the rest of them, man. Stop pretending like you don't want to see me with a f***ing bullet in the back of my head.
I appreciate the challenge it must be to create character conflict in a movie that's nothing but walking, talking, and people getting their heads blown off. It's probably almost as hard as writing amusing sins about said movie. But 40 minutes in, nobody's buying that Ray really believes this.
A lot of you are gonna die on this hill. Maybe more than half. It happened once 6 years ago.
If, as the major said, the goal of the long walk was to increase the population's work ethic, they should choose a flat route so it can last longer. If, as is more likely, the goal was just to show that the government can get 49 people to volunteer for a death march, they should choose one with lots of hills so it's over quickly. But because the real goal of the long walk is to hit a 2-hour runtime, they chose a route with a single hill that can kill off most of the walkers on the first night, saving money on extras.
Got a gun to your f***ing head, f***er. You're gonna f***ing give in, aren't you?
If this asshole would save his breath instead of talking literally everybody, he'd probably have a great chance of winning this thing. Barkovich.
You paid to shoot me, now look at me, motherfucker.
Since he has to look at you to shoot you, I'm pretty sure he gets paid for both.
Don't be f***ing dumb.
Ray already signed up for a death march. He has a 1 in 50 chance of surviving, so I think that ship has already sailed. Sunrise, sunrise, tractor, excitement?
All he needs is a pitchfork.
That's American Gothicist. Also, he's up at the crack of dawn to watch people walk. He doesn't need a pitchfork. He needs a hobby.
No, I had an idea that when the first guy fell off, the soldiers were pointing their guns, and when they pulled the triggers, little pieces of paper with the word bang will pop out. The major will go, April Fools, and we'll all go home.
Pete is like those chefs on Hell's Kitchen who seem surprised when Gordon Ramsay yells at them during the first dinner service. This thing has been on TV for decades. Don't sign up to be on a reality show before you watch a few episodes and learn how to cook f***ing scallops, Pete.
I don't want to beat people that badly. And I think when the time comes, and I'm tired enough, I think I'll just sit down.
That being the case, why did Pete sign up in the first place? If all he wanted to do was walk until he was too tired to stand, he should have picked a less shooty scenario.
You walk off your mornings?
Yes, I did.
And since you were right beside Ray when he did, Pete should know that.
What a dipshit state this is. F***ing trees and one-horse towns every place.
You know, it's funny, Collie. We like to breathe fresh air instead of smog.
You know, smog in Sioux Falls, you f***ing hick.
This movie takes place in the 1970s. There is smog everywhere. Also, complaining how desolate and unpopulated a place is when you come from a huge state where the entire population in the 1970s was less than 700,000 people.
My ankle's all twisted up.
At dusk, they had just hit mile 35, and right before they got to the big hill where Harkness broke his ankle, Pete said,
It's 3:45.
since they hit mile 59 at dawn, that means that Harkness has been walking on that twisted ankle and maintaining a speed of 3 miles per hour for at least 6 miles, including getting up the rest of that hill. And I am calling 6 miles worth of bullshit on that.
You know you hardly talk when you do it's just fucking garbage. I think a fucking cold motherfucker like that would just probably win the whole thing.
You would think that, and you should be right, but you'd be wrong.
Hey, how the heck he always looks so fresh? He even human?
It's not a trick. The major sleeps at night after supper. He even showers.
Not to mention that traveling 100 miles by Jeep is notoriously less strenuous than traveling 100 miles on foot.
Oh, he's running for it. Warning. Oh, boy. Come on now.
Number 31 is given a warning, even though the rules say,
If you step off the pavement, you will get your ticket without warning.
also attempting to run away in broad daylight when you're at the front of the pack instead of dropping back, putting some other walkers between you and the guards, and trying it after dark when you might have had a half-decent chance of succeeding. The long walk takes place in Maine in early May, when sunrise is around 5:30 a.m. and sunset is around 7:45 p.m. We saw that it was mile 59 at dawn or so. At 3 miles per hour, the sun should have set 25 minutes before they hit mile 103.
I'm asking to have one of them, what you call them? One of them space rockets.
Hey, you know, that's not a bad wish, Baker. Remember that one kid that, he wished for, I think it was a pet elephant?
Because planning and executing a space launch is roughly the equivalent of obtaining an elephant from a local zoo in terms of feasibility.
What you gonna do with 10 naked ladies?
Scene is incapable of imagining a lap dance.
Well, so I'm saying is that when you win, you get like $1 gazillion. You can pay for 10 naked ladies to come over to your house whenever you'd like.
Maybe the second most dystopian thing about this dystopian story is that the price of hiring strippers has hit $1/10 of $1 gazillion apiece.
From now on, I'm gonna wish that Long Walk has 2 winners. Cause then in years to come, people can have hope that maybe their friends just might make it.
Or, wish for the long walk to never happen again so that nobody has to worry about their friends and all.
The chances gonna be you, or any one of us, for that matter, is slim to none.
Individually, your chances are pretty poor, but the chance it's going to be one of you is 100%.
I got this feeling in the depth of my gut. As long as this gum lasts, so do I. When she goes, I go.
Choosing to give in to superstition.
My wish, if I get it, might enact change. Indirectly.
What are you hiding, Garrity? Ain't these supposed to be your best f***ing friends?
Best friends? Ray has known these people for less than 2 days. If I was on live TV, I wouldn't tell friends I've known for my entire life that I'm wishing for a gun to perform a political assassination.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Don't
There you go.
This goes on for all the fucking some time, in case you confused it with mile 143.
Most guys, they crap once a week.
They do not.
There are 3 great truths in the world: a good meal, a good screw, and a good shit.
These are not truths. These are just things. Whatever it is that Hank was studying while reading all those books he was bragging about, it clearly was not philosophy.
Bible says, sorry, can you break off? You stink. It's not your fault. You didn't have time to wipe, but we shouldn't all be paying for it.
If Ray and Pete really wanted to get away from the smell, they should pick up the pace so they're in front of Art. Walking behind him is just going to make matters worse.
Well, Ray, we're alone. How about it?
It's just gotta stay between us, Pete.
Pretty much every word everyone has said up to this point has been heard by every walker in the group. But just this once, Pete and Ray won't be overheard because plot.
Mr. William Garrity, you've been accused and convicted for high crimes of possession and teaching of banned materials and ideas.
So the Major shows up to personally execute everyone who breaks the law? Either possession and teaching of banned materials and ideas is extremely rare, or the Major is a very busy guy.
Garrity, do you have any idea how hard it is to kill a man?
I wouldn't know, but I'm guessing that if the man in question executed your father and made you watch, it would be a lot easier.
They want to see our brains on the concrete, man. They just as soon see yours.
Oh, how you can see it. Look harder. See that? That's a family, and they love each other.
Maybe, but they also brought what looks like a 7-year-old to potentially watch soldiers execute someone. So I'm going to side with Ray on this one, Pete. Also, if they came here to watch the long walk, why did they pack what looks like all their worldly possessions in their truck? And why did they bring 7 chairs when there were only 3 of them? And who packs a giant throw rug for a picnic and then just leaves it in the truck? I know these people are just here to illustrate a point, but I have questions.
Vengeance, Ray. Vengeance is not enough.
The Bride, John Wick, and Inigo Montoya have all entered the chat.
See that? That's something to be grateful for.
People who get this excited about rainbows, it's just an optical phenomenon caused by refraction, internal reflection, and dispersion of light and water droplets, resulting in a continuous spectrum of light appearing in the sky. Not that big of a deal, Pete. Jeez.
Want to walk me a while?
Yeah, I do, Pete.
Warning. Number 47.
Purposely knocking Ray off balance when the consequences are literally life and death. Also, when he's bumped, Ray never drops behind Pete. So if he's not moving at 3 miles per hour at that point, neither is Pete.
Warning.
I guess even if you just run over a walker's legs, he has to run out of warnings before you kill him. The rules are the rules. But that doesn't mean this scene doesn't get a sin for all the therapy I'm going to need to purge the cruelty of this movie from my brain when this is all over.
Who the is that?
Stressor is a kid with the radio.
Warning. Third warning, 24.
When Tressler gets his 3rd warning, he's moving faster than everyone. Is there a rule about doing the long walk without pants? If so, maybe the Major should have taken the time to read the whole rule book to them before this started.
Lord, I won't go home. Oh, Jesus, I won't go home. Go home.
I'm with you, Arthur, but since there's still another 40 goddamn minutes of this movie left, I guess neither of us is going anywhere. It was mile 144 after sunrise this morning, which means they've covered 57 miles by sunset. But at 3 miles per hour, that would take 19 hours. So obviously the filmmakers thought I wouldn't do the math. They were wrong. But also math.
What are you driving at, man?
Why don't you ask your hick friend, Art Baker? The mule doesn't like the plow, but it sure does like the tasty carrots.
And I'm not liking this gibberish dialogue, but I sure do love the tasty sins.
God's garden is full of weeds.
I had no idea what Hank was talking about, so I looked it up to avoid watching yet another character get riddled with bullets. It refers to a Bible verse about coexistence that explains that weeds, representing bad people, are allowed to grow among the wheat, representing good people, until Judgment Day. Heady stuff. But this still gets a character says something profound right before he dies, cliche sin, plus another one for making me research the Bible. Ray!
I wish you would have shot one of those f***ers. I can't get over the pure f***ing idiocy of Olsen.
And I can't get over the fact that you've waited until 8 miles after Olsen was killed to have this conversation.
I haven't been sick in 10 years, and my body decides to do it during this exact stretch of days like some cruel f***ing joke.
It's called irony.
Yeah, I know what irony is.
It's a long walk that you just shouldn't take, and who would have thought it figures?
I think I just got off on the wrong foot with you boys, you know?
Goading a kid into getting shot in front of everybody will do that.
I can't think it's my f***ing fault, right?
Yeah.
It's not my fault,
It's not.
right?
It's not.
It is.
You gotta die. And that's the f***ed up thing about all this, is that we all gotta go, you know?
Not discovering what a f***ed up thing the long walk is until after you've been long walking for 4 days. Very dramatic and sad, but I can't figure out how any of them would be allowed to carry anything that could be used as a weapon. And yes, that includes Ray's f***ing sentimental and very skippable baseball. Forcing horses to witness murder without their explicit consent.
It's easy for you to talk. It's your home state. You're the only one who gets to see family.
I don't know. I think maybe it might make it worse.
You butting in for?
Why the f*** don't you expect him to? You've been walking with these guys for 5 days, Collie. All anyone has done since mile 1 is butt into other people's conversations.
You really think it's gonna be harder?
Thing my college girlfriend said to me before our first time somehow makes it into the script.
Come on, so sorry, Mom! Keep walking! It's okay! It's okay!
Is it also okay to skip? Because that's what I'm doing.
It was at that moment I said I'll always choose to find some light in all this fucking darkness.
So I guess he chose to participate in the absolute darkest event of this dystopian hellscape because he likes a challenge?
We all gotta make an agreement. And from here on out, no help for anyone. You either do it on your own or you don't do it.
What's that supposed to mean, Stebbins, huh? What's that supposed
No,
to fuck mean, huh?
Pete, I think you might be right.
He is right. And if all of you had come into this understanding that only one of you can survive, this probably would have been over 200 miles ago. And I'd be watching a mindless sitcom by now in a vain attempt to cleanse my mind of all the senseless violence.
Goddamn motherfucker! Freeze! Come on!
Standing in the middle of the road yelling instead of shooting the other guy on the tank who has a gun pointed at you. Also attempting a coup when there were 5 people left instead of when there were still 50 and there was a greater chance of overpowering the soldiers.
Hey, my nose. My nose won't stop. My nose won't stop bleeding.
And the no more helping each other pact lasted all of 2 minutes. You'd think people who have walked 324 miles straight could show just a little more resolve.
It's an internal hemorrhage, pretty common.
An internal hemorrhage that causes nosebleeds is pretty common, but only in people who have experienced head trauma. I'm not saying that Art shouldn't worry. I'm just saying that Stebbins should probably refrain from giving medical diagnoses.
Hey, Art, you've been a hell of a fucking friend.
Skip!
Promise me one thing.
Yeah.
Don't watch him do it.
Not only do they keep this promise, but for once, the film doesn't make us watch them do it. And giving all the senseless killing we've had to put up with until now, that's worth a sin removal.
You're in the home stretch.
Given that there's no finish line, Major Skywalker has no way of knowing this. Yet somehow he manages to show up just in time to watch his son get his ticket.
Shut the fuck up. Holy shit. Suck a dick, will you?
That's the spirit, my boy.
For a society that bans philosophy and Mark Twain, they're surprisingly tolerant of free speech when it comes to insulting their leaders on live TV.
That's a killer instinct. Take no prisoners. Flex that sack and go get that prize.
At least 80% of the Major's dialogue is the discussion of sex.
What would happen if we slowed at the exact same time, huh?
There's no way any 3 humans can measure exactness like these instruments. They have it down to a science.
Maybe 3 humans couldn't slow down to the exact same speed at the exact same time, but they could definitely all stop simultaneously. And my guess is what would happen is they'd all be shot simultaneously when their warnings ran out. But hey, the movie would be over, so yay?
How the do you know so much about the long walk anyway?
It's all on record.
It is, and there's a rule book, and it's been televised every year for almost 2 decades. How does anybody not know everything about the long walk by now?
I'm the fucking rabbit. Those little gray mechanical rabbits. The greyhounds chase at the dog races. And no matter how fast the dogs run, they never can quite catch up to the rabbit, because the rabbit isn't flesh and blood.
Except Stebbins isn't moving faster than anyone else. And he's also not a robot, although that would be a great twist at this point. Maybe it's just his fatigue talking, but Stebbins is bad at analogies.
For my wish, I was going to ask to be taken into my father's home to be invited for tea.
You can have anything you want, and you're wishing for a tea party? How about wishing for the Major to acknowledge you as his son and let you live in his home permanently? Or to be named as his heir in his will? Not only is Stebbins bad at analogies, he's terrible at wishes.
Fucking do me!
Fucking do me.
When I was a kid, right, I never really thought about death. You know, I don't think most kids do, until you're confronted by it.
Which, given what we've seen of the society, would probably be when you're around the age of 2. If entertainment options are so limited that this many people would stand outside on a miserable night like this just to watch 2 exhausted guys walk, it's no wonder so many people volunteer to march to their deaths every year. This place is boring. Ray gets shot here without his 3rd warning being announced because I guess the soldiers put dramatic timing in front of following the rules. Ray.
Ladies and gentlemen, our champion, Peter McFree.
I can buy that the crowd knows where to assemble to walk with the last 2 walkers, but what I don't buy is that they knew exactly where the last walker would die so that they could be ready with this elaborate fireworks celebration.
I want a carbine.
Stealing Ray's wish. Also, Pete had a wish he had thought about long and hard, a way to hopefully help future people that were forced into choosing the long walk as a way out. And instead, he just throws all that away to get Ray's vengeance for him. I'm honestly not sure what this movie is trying to say at this point. I'm not sure I like it.
I want that carbine.
Give him his wish. He won't shoot anyone, boys. He's won too much, and remember, this one wants to make the world a better place.
Not shooting anyone and making the world a better place are, at least in this case, not mutually exclusive.
This is for Ray.
Lucky for Pete that while he and the Major were talking, the crowd and all the soldiers somehow disappeared, leaving Pete to walk off down the now empty street with no repercussions whatsoever. Who says the long walk can't have a happy ending, no matter how ridiculously implausible and cynical it might be?
Thanks again to Free Cash for sponsoring today's video. If you're interested in making money by playing some games, click the link in the description below or sign up using the QR code. Keep you posted on what my next favorite game is. Let me know what yours is down in the comments.
"3 days and 100 miles later, and still no kill.